everybody, happy Wednesday. Welcome to this week's episode of Nicole's Notions, brought to you by Pick Your Stitch. Today we are going to talk about marking tools. We have a couple of chalk marking tools to show you, along with the Frixion pen and an air-soluble air erase marker that we're going to show you. The very first thing we're going to talk about is the chalk markers. These are two styles of chalk markers that we carry here in the store. They work the same. It's really just going to be a personal preference as to which one that you prefer. I personally prefer this pen style because it has a more tapered edge on it, and I like to use my ruler a lot of times. I'm using this to mark on my quilt. I'm using it to mark a pocket on a bag that I'm making, something like that. This is what the blue style looks like. It has a wheel in it. It works exactly the same. It's just not as tapered. Still works great, works exactly the same. Like I said, they both have wheels on them. You're just gonna roll right along like that. These are great for any time that you have fabric that you don't want to iron. So a lot of times I'll personally use a Frixion pen. We're going to talk about that in a minute, to use all of my marking. I love the Frixion pens, love them. But a lot of times you want to mark on fabric that you can't iron, you can't use the heat to get off of, such as vinyl. Vinyl is going to melt if you put heat on it. A lot of times you don't want to use heat on cork. These are a great alternative. We have these two styles in store, and they both come in white, yellow, or blue. So obviously, you know, whatever you're going to mark on, use the appropriate color. The next marking tool that I have for you is this Frixion pen. Like I said, these are my absolute go-to 100% favorite marking tool ever. I have these all over my house. If there's not one within arm's reach, then there's a problem. I use this to mark on my patterns. I use this to mark on my fabric. This is a heat erasable pen. Now, there's a little bit of controversy in the quilting world because people say that they can come back in cold weather. I personally have not had that problem with the blue or the black. If you use any of the other colors, they do come back very easily. But I don't store my quilts in the freezer or the cold weather, so I haven't had a problem. But let me show you how incredible this pen is. You're gonna write on it just like you would write on a piece of paper. It works perfect, just like that. There you go. And then all you're gonna do is put some heat on it, and it's gone. It's wonderful, it's fabulous. I use this anytime I need to draw a diagonal line for a half square triangle, anytime I need to make a flying geese, anytime I need to make a snowball, anytime I need to make marking lines on the front of my quilt so that I can see where I'm sewing. This is my go-to. Like I said, I buy them by the box. I have them all over the place. 100% recommend. The next tool that I have for you is another new favorite that we have just kind of discovered today. Someone brought it to our attention a few months ago, and we didn't really pay a whole lot of attention to it. And then when we decided to do this for Nicole's Notions today, we went ahead and broke this out and started playing with it, and it really is incredible. So this is it can do a fine tip, and it can also do a little bit of a thicker tip. This will erase with the air in between 1 to 7 days. It's going to depend on what you're writing on. It's going to depend on the humidity, your weather, the moisture. You know, it's going to depend on a lot of that, lot of those things. But the point is, it will air erase if you need it to. If you need to have your mark sit there for a while, this is the way to go. But one of the really, really awesome things about this is if you make your mark in the wrong place, this other end is an eraser. Check that out. Okay, that's totally awesome. I love it. And it's gone. So this will dry almost immediately. It's like you never even made a mistake. It's like a seam ripper in liquid form. The very last tool that I have to show you today is called the Fine Line. This is a permanent fabric marking pen. This is going to be great anytime that you have somewhere to mark that is not going to show in your final project, or On the flip side, if you want something to be seen in your final project, this is going to be a perfect tool to use. So anytime you want to leave a message for somebody, if you're writing a quilt label, this is going to be what you want to use because it's permanent. It's not going to come out. So let's talk about prices really quick. The Frixion pens. Like I said, we have them in blue and black in this style, which is, again, personally the only ones that I recommend. These are $2.99 a piece. We have these 2 Choco liner pens. This pen style is $10.99. This fatter, chunkier style is $8.99. This Quilter Select self-erase marker is $8.99. And this fine line marking pen is $6.49. Now, between now and next Wednesday, which is February 3rd, all of these marking tools that we've mentioned for Nichole's Notions tonight are going to be 30% off. So come in, stock up on some chalk pens because you know you need one in every color. Grab some of your Frixion pens because, I mean, you have to have one within arm's reach. Everything will be 30% off that we've mentioned. Thank you for watching this week's episode, and we will see you next Wednesday for another episode of Nichole's Notions.